Old maps fade into the sharp glow of satellite photographs. Antique borders dissolve into a living web of light. Empires don't collapse first from enemies. They collapse from appetite, control disguised as safety. Power looks tidy on a map. Real life is never tidy. Stoicism asks one question before any action. Is this virtue or impulse? The dichotomy of control. Power can shape conditions, but it cannot command outcomes. The story begins in a much simpler time, long before instant global communication and remote warfare. It was 1823, and the United States was young and vulnerable. In his annual message to Congress, President James Monroe set a clear rule for Europe. The hemisphere was no longer open to colonization, and not for Europe's political system to extend into. Non-colonization, non-intervention, and separate spheres, old world and new. A boundary to protect fragile sovereignty. The US relied on British interests to deter rivals. It was a diplomatic warning more than a sword. Its purpose was defensive. Keep distant empires out. Preserve balance. Allow self-determination. Avoid becoming Europe's chessboard. Prudence over panic. Guard against real dangers without overreach. But defining a whole hemisphere as special interests planted seeds for future reinterpretation. Principles are tested by changing circumstances. Restraint must hold as power grows. The pivot came in 1904 as American power surged. Roosevelt articulated an international police power to preempt European interference. What began as keep out for Europe became justification to step in within the Americas. Policeman, judge, debt collector, power expanding its remit. Dozens of interventions followed, with stability claimed and resentment sown. From defensive shield to interventionist sword, temperance eroded. Without moral restraint, doctrines become permission structures. Actions create precedent. Norms shift toward normalized policing. The 2025 National Security Strategy seeks to reassert and enforce the Monroe Doctrine. Officials and commentators dubbed this the Trump Corollary. It aims to deny rivals' forces or ownership of vital assets in the hemisphere. Focused on narco-terror threats and transnational criminal networks. On migration control at the border. And on blocking non-hemispheric footholds. Ports, mineral resources, undersea data cables, the arteries of modern power. An enlist and expand approach. Enlist partners, expand influence. A just posture for border cartel missions and maritime control. Supporters. necessary modernization to secure supply chains and protect the homeland. Critics, language so broad it could justify economic and military interventions at will. Commercial deals recast as threats, smaller nations coerced in partner choice. The White House publicly linked this to a revived Monroe narrative. Stoic insight. Justice must constrain power. Strength is not forbidden, injustice is. Early January 2026, major outlets report a US raid capturing Nicolas Maduro and Cilia Flores. A large-scale strike, elite units, and swift extraction to New York proceedings. International debate divides between exceptional justification and dangerous precedent. Several governments condemn the action as eroding sovereignty. Charges proceed in New York while Venezuela's officials remain in place. Regardless of politics, words become precedent. The world judges actions, not declarations. Character over reputation. Corollaries are interpreted by what they do. Scenario A. Deterrence and stability. Rivals reduce footholds. The cost of expansion seems too high. Cooperation rises. Supply chains nearshore. Routes stabilize. Investment improves. Peace grows when force is paired with diplomacy and limits. Stoic test passed. Prudence, justice, restraint. Deterrence. Scenario B. Managed rivalry. Competition intensifies. Sanctions, security deals, disinformation, cyber. Peace holds but is brittle. Prosperity is uneven. Obsession with control creates perpetual friction. Rivalry. Scenario C. Blowback and escalation. Backlash grows, rivals counter-move, cross-border raids normalize. Instability kills investment, trade routes falter, nearshoring dies. Retaliation cycles erode law and legitimacy. Blowback. Deterrence demands limits. Rivalry demands wisdom. Blowback punishes pride. The path to peace is restraint after resolve. Power sheathed, diplomacy engaged. Prosperity follows when justice shapes strength. The Stoic wager. Character governs outcomes more than force alone. We have traveled from the ink of old maps to the pixels of a global crisis. A safety doctrine can morph into a claim of hegemonic control. These are not just headlines, they are a chapter in a long story. The question is not strength, but how strength is used. Wisdom, justice, courage, temperance. Wisdom. Is the threat real? Is the plan coherent and consequence aware? Justice. Are humans treated as ends, not tools? Courage. Can we tell hard truths and accept limits? Temperance. Are there boundaries, proportionality, and an exit? The world doesn't fear strength. It fears strength without restraint. If power is not governed by virtue, it becomes a hunger, and hunger never stays satisfied. Subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell for the next episode. Thanks for being here with the Stoic Quotient, where ancient strength meets modern life.